Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. Today, we have a mix of somber and intriguing news to share with you. First, a tragic accident in Mong has left 2 people dead and 3 others injured after a collision between a taxi and a motorbike. The motorcyclist and his passenger were thrown off their vehicle and pronounced dead at the hospital. The taxi driver, his passenger, and a pedestrian were also injured and taken to the hospital. Police are investigating and calling for witnesses to come forward. In another incident, a van driver was arrested in Tsim after crashing into a safety island and injuring 8 people. The accident happened just before a drone show in Victoria Harbour. Despite passing a breathalyzer test, the driver was arrested for dangerous driving. The injured, including a female police constable, received treatment at the scene, and 5 were taken to the hospital. On a lighter note, Dubai is becoming the new hotspot for Hong Kong property investors. With its booming property market and fast-track residency schemes, Dubai is attracting significant interest from Chinese and Hong Kong investors. According to Mark Elliott of Savills in Hong Kong, inquiries from Hong Kong have skyrocketed to 250 per month. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. South China Morning Post. In the early hours of Sunday, a tragic collision between a taxi and a motorcycle at the bustling intersection of Nathan Road and Argyle Street in Mong, Hong Kong, resulted in the deaths of 2 young individuals and injuries to 3 others. The motorcyclist, a 22-year-old man, and his 24-year-old female passenger were violently thrown from their bike upon impact, sustaining severe injuries. Despite being rushed to Kwonghua Hospital in Yau Ma Tei, the woman succumbed to her injuries at 3:43 a.m., followed by the man at 3:55 a.m. The taxi driver, 27, and his 38-year-old passenger sustained limb injuries and were also taken to the same hospital for treatment. Additionally, a 69-year-old pedestrian was struck by flying debris from the crash, resulting in facial cuts. He too received medical attention at Kwonghua Hospital. The police have launched a special investigation and are appealing to any witnesses to come forward with information. South China Morning Post. A van driver was apprehended following a chaotic accident in Tsim Sha Tsui, Hong Kong, which left 8 people injured just before a scheduled drone show in Victoria Harbour on Saturday evening. The van veered out of control around 7 p.m., crashing into a safety island at the intersection of Salisbury Road and Nathan Road, emitting fumes as it came to a halt. Among the injured were a female auxiliary police constable and 7 bystanders, 5 of whom, including the officer, were transported to Queen Elizabeth Hospital for further care. The 41-year-old driver, who passed a breathalyzer test, was arrested on charges of dangerous driving, a serious offense that can result in up to 3 years of imprisonment. The incident occurred as crowds gathered along the Tsim Sha Tsui promenade to enjoy a drone show featuring the beloved Japanese manga character Doraemon. South China Morning Post. Dubai is emerging as a new hotspot for Chinese property investors, shifting their focus from traditional European destinations like Portugal and Berlin to the glittering UAE city. Mark Elliott from Savills in Hong Kong noted a significant surge in inquiries, with monthly interest now matching what used to be annual figures. Dubai's real estate market is booming, with luxury home prices soaring by 70% last year. Wealthy Chinese buyers are snapping up high-end properties, including a $24 million beachfront home on the iconic Palm Jumeirah. The city's appeal is bolstered by its fast-track residency scheme, which issued 158,000 golden visas last year, far outpacing Portugal's 13,000 since 2012. Dubai's government is also investing heavily in infrastructure, aiming to become the world's 4th largest financial center and upgrading its transport networks. However, potential risks include currency fluctuations and regional conflicts, as noted by Kashif Ansari of Juway IQI. SCMP Opinion. Mainland China's new visa-free policy for foreign tour groups arriving at its ports is set to benefit Hong Kong's tourism industry. The relaxed rules allow visitors to stay for up to 15 days without a visa, potentially boosting the cruise and tourism sectors. This move comes as the global cruise industry recovers from the pandemic, with more ships calling at Hong Kong. However, the city's Kai Tak cruise terminal faced criticism last summer for being unprepared for the influx of passengers. To capitalize on this opportunity, Hong Kong authorities must improve tourism and transport facilities and collaborate closely with mainland counterparts. The Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau believes the new policy will help Hong Kong become a key stop in multi-destination itineraries within the Greater Bay Area, attracting visitors who will contribute economically to the city. Nikkei Asia. Hong Kong is positioning itself to reclaim its status as a premier tourist destination by leveraging its potential as Asia's fashion capital. With an ambitious goal of attracting 50 million visitors this year, the city plans to host a newly designated Fashion Design Week in November, uniting various fashion events under one banner. This initiative aims to draw global attention and economic benefits, similar to how the Hong Kong Rugby Sevens and Art Basel have boosted the local economy. The government has allocated 2.9 billion Hong Kong dollars to support the fashion industry, emphasizing the need for strategic partnerships and innovative programming. By fostering an ecosystem of collaboration among designers, manufacturers, and policymakers, Hong Kong aims to showcase its creative prowess and solidify its reputation as a fashion hub. The success of such mega events could significantly enhance the city's global standing and economic vitality, turning Hong Kong into a vibrant center of fashion and culture. South China Morning Post, Hong Kong's Siobhan Haughey made an impressive start to the Mare Nostrum swim tour in France, clinching gold in both the 100-meter breaststroke and the 200-meter freestyle. Despite a tough competition from Japan's Riona Aoki, Haughey emerged victorious in the breaststroke with a time of 1 minute and 7.01 seconds. She further showcased her prowess in the 200-meter freestyle, finishing in 1 minute and 55.39 seconds, more than 3 seconds ahead of her closest competitor. This annual Mediterranean meet, spanning 3 countries over 9 days, serves as a crucial Olympic qualifying event. Among the 9 Hong Kong swimmers, only Haughey and Ian Ho Yen Tu have secured their spots for Paris, with Adam Chillingworth aiming to join them in the 200-meter breaststroke. The event, which also saw new records set by Lee Sum-yu in the 50m women's freestyle, is one of the last opportunities for swimmers to qualify for the Paris Olympics before the window closes on June 23. South China Morning Post, the role of the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office (ATO) in London has recently come under scrutiny following charges against an office manager and 2 others under the UK's National Security Act of 2023. Established under Article 156 of the Basic Law, Hong Kong's 14 ETOs across the globe have played a significant role in defending the city's trade interests since the post-World War II era. Notably, Hong Kong's textile industry thrived in the mid-20th century, necessitating active trade negotiations in Geneva, Washington, and Brussels. The London ETO, the oldest of Hong Kong's overseas offices, has historically facilitated bilateral visits and cultural exchanges. However, recent political tensions and the enactment of national security laws have strained UK-Hong Kong relations. Despite these challenges, the decades-long contributions of the London ETO in fostering bilateral ties must not be overlooked, especially in times when truth can easily be overshadowed by rumors and emotions. South China Morning Post, a proposed innovation research hub at the University of Hong Kong, HKU, has met with strong opposition from over 3,000 residents in Pak Fu Lam, who are threatening legal action if the project proceeds. The residents argue that the development will require the removal of thousands of trees and exacerbate traffic congestion, and they criticize the university for inadequate public consultation. The Global Innovation Center, planned to span 4.72 hectares near Queen Mary Hospital, aims to be a world-class research facility that will contribute to Hong Kong's status as an international innovation hub. However, residents suggest relocating the project to the Santin Technopole in Yunlong or the former Lama Quarry to mitigate environmental and traffic concerns. The Town Planning Board has concluded its public consultation phase and will review the project in the coming months. If approved, residents may seek a judicial review, citing insufficient public engagement as a basis for their legal challenge. Nikkei Asia. A One Bakery, originally from Japan, is making a grand return to the Southeast Asian market, learning from previous challenges in mainland China and Thailand. Their new base in Malaysia will serve as a launchpad for expansion, supported by the recent acquisition of CSL, a Japanese-affiliated software developer in Kuala Lumpur. This strategic move aims to enhance a One's franchise system across Asia, leveraging CSL's expertise to match local cultures and customs. The bustling A1 bakery near a subway station in central Hong Kong exemplifies their success, attracting a steady stream of customers with a variety of European-style and Japanese-style baked goods. Founded in Osaka in 1948, A1 has grown significantly under the leadership of Motanabu Yanai, amassing an annual turnover of 24 billion yen, $155 million, with around 110 stores in Hong Kong. The company plans to expand its presence to 150 stores while also exploring new markets beyond the city. The introduction of advanced tech, such as a bakery scan system for automated payment processing, has allowed A1 to streamline operations and focus on efficient bakery management. Through CSL, A1 aims to develop sophisticated systems to support Japanese companies' overseas expansion, ensuring efficient management and operations in diverse cultural landscapes. South China Morning Post. In the new territories of Hong Kong, innovative architectural designs are transforming the traditional village house landscape. Bread Studio's recent project, The White House in Tai Wai, exemplifies this creative approach. Commissioned by a bachelor, the house features a unique design with a double-height ceiling in the living area, a sunken floor, and timber boards atop concrete treads, creating a warm and inviting space. The architects integrated the staircase into the heart of the home, enhancing social spaces and visual appeal. Extra tall, bifold doors open to a balcony, and a rooftop skylight provides natural light by day and a starry canopy by night. In contrast, the glass house on Pung Chau, designed by Korean designer Jae Hyun Lim, embraces transparency and light. The exterior is enveloped in translucent channel glass, allowing for privacy and diffused light. Lim's design minimizes traditional solid surfaces, creating an open-plan first floor and optimizing space with utility areas pushed to the edges. The steel staircase, assembled on-site, enhances light and air circulation. Despite challenges, both projects showcase the potential for bespoke, innovative designs within the constraints of traditional village house regulations, offering enhanced livability and future prospects. South China Morning Post. In a 2022 episode of The Kardashians, Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber showcased an anti-aging therapy called NAD, which soon became a celebrity sensation. Hailey even introduced her husband, Justin Bieber, to the treatment. This trend isn't limited to the young and famous, even nonagenarian Hong Kong tycoon Li Ka-shing has been using a similar product since 2017. Li's venture capital firm Horizons Ventures invested $25 million in Chromadex, a company producing the healthy aging supplement True Neogen. NAD, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, is crucial for cellular metabolism and declines with age. Harvard's David Sinclair, a leading figure in longevity research, has been a strong proponent of NAD therapy, even claiming it as a potential fountain of youth. Despite its popularity, Sinclair's work has faced significant criticism, leading to his resignation from a prestigious scientific academy. Critics argue that his research lacks reproducibility and accuse him of financial conflicts of interest. China has become the largest producer of NMN, a precursor to NAD, making the supplement more accessible. However, NMN products remain unapproved by Chinese authorities, and their efficacy is still under debate within the scientific community. Nikkei Asia, Zhejiang Geely Holding Group made history by becoming the first Chinese carmaker to break into the global top 10 in auto sales for the first quarter of 2024, selling 730,000 vehicles. This achievement saw Geely surpassing German giants Mercedes-Benz and BMW, with a year-on-year sales increase of 27%. Other Chinese automakers like BYD, Changan Automobile, Chery Automobile, and SAIC Motor also ranked in the top 20. Geely's core EV brand, Zeekr, and Volvo Car, part of the Geely Group, both showed impressive sales growth. BYD sold 620,000 vehicles, with EVs making up nearly half of that number. Chinese carmakers are increasingly focusing on exports, with Geely's overseas sales soaring by 43% and BYD's by 150%. The Chinese EV market is highly competitive, with price cuts making EVs almost as affordable as gasoline vehicles. However, the market is showing signs of a supply glut, with production capacity expected to far exceed demand by 2025. As a result, Chinese automakers are expanding into overseas markets, with significant exports to Russia, Mexico, and the Middle East. This aggressive export strategy has raised concerns in the US and Europe about unfair competition and job losses, leading to increased tariffs on China-made EVs. Toyota Motor led global sales in the first quarter, followed by Volkswagen Group and Hyundai Motor Group. SCMP opinion: in the wake of a tragic fire in an old Hong Kong building in April, the government has ramped up its enforcement of fire safety regulations, yet the urgency may wane over time. Officials plan to introduce an amendment bill to the Legislative Council by July to significantly increase penalties for fire safety violations. The proposed amendments include raising the maximum penalty to 100,000 Hong Kong dollars for non-compliance with fire safety directions and 200,000 Hong Kong dollars for ignoring compliance orders, along with daily fines for ongoing offenses. This comes after a deadly blaze in Jordan that claimed 5 lives and injured dozens, prompting the Fire Services Department to redeploy manpower for proactive inspections. Despite over 9,000 enforcement actions and more than 3,600 fire hazard abatement notices issued last year, the efforts appear insufficient given the vast number of aging buildings in the city. With around 14,000 buildings constructed before modern fire safety standards were established in 1987, only 40% of the 370,000 directions issued have been complied with, highlighting the ongoing fire risks. The legislative changes must be accompanied by steadfast enforcement to ensure fire prevention is taken seriously. South China Morning Post: Fruit Chan Gore's films, The Longest Summer and Little Chung, capture the cultural shifts in Hong Kong around the 1997 handover. Chan's 1997 film Made in Hong Kong set the stage for his trilogy, portraying life in the city's triad-infested public housing estates. The Longest Summer follows the disbandment of a unit of Chinese former British Army soldiers, depicting their struggle to adapt to a society in flux. The film uses real-life footage from the handover, focusing on personal stories rather than political stances. Chan's narrative reflects the broader societal changes, capturing the uncertainty and identity crisis of the time. Little Chung, the trilogy's final installment, shifts focus to the very young and the elderly, offering a neo-realistic portrayal of working-class life in Kowloon. The film follows 9-year-old Little Chung and his girlfriend Wan, highlighting the daily challenges and cultural shifts experienced by ordinary people. Chan's work, praised for its naturalistic acting and street scenes, provides a poignant and politically provocative snapshot of Hong Kong's transformation, making his trilogy a valuable cinematic record of the era. The Globe and Mail reports that the Conservatives and Bloc Québécois have initiated a House of Commons committee meeting to probe the Liberal government's decision to withhold certain cabinet documents from a public inquiry into foreign interference in Canadian elections. the federal government, citing cabinet confidentiality, has redacted nearly 10% of the 33,000 documents provided and withheld an undisclosed number of others, despite Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc's earlier promise of full access to relevant documents. Conservative and BQ MPs, including Michael Cooper and Marie-Helene Gaudreau, are pressing for an explanation from LeBlanc, suggesting that the Liberal cabinet may be concealing information about Beijing's interference in the 2019 and 2021 elections. Pierre-Alain Bujold of the Privy Council office defended the redactions, emphasizing the importance of cabinet confidentiality under the Westminster system. Justice Marie-Josée Hogue, overseeing the inquiry, has stressed the need for full access to cabinet documents to determine the extent of the Trudeau government's knowledge and response to foreign interference. Her initial report highlighted China's significant threat to Canadian democracy and called for robust government measures to counteract this influence. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.